Siamo qui con il... Ah, scusami, avevo visto... Scusa.
Vai.
Salve, siamo qui con Gilberto Hernandez, il grande fumettista americano. Lo rifaccio?
Vai, fai qualche posto.
Siamo qui con Gilberto Hernandez, il grande fumettista americano. Hi Alberto, how are you?
I'm fine, I'm fine. Glad to be here.
Are you having fun?
Oh, I'm having a lot of fun at this convention. It's very good. I love it.
Okay, and what about our city?
I love Naples, especially the driving. I love how the driving is so fast and so much, but very safe if you watch out what you're doing.
We know you come from a very numerous family, and you also worked with two of your brothers. But are you still working with them and tightly connected with them? What about the rest of your family? For example, your sister.
Well, there's 5 boys and 1 sister, 1 girl. She's the baby, and we all drew at one time. When we were very young, we all drew comics, all of us. But some of the kids just decided they weren't that interested in drawing comics anymore. But Mario, and then mostly Jaime and myself, me, we decided we like comics to continue, to progress on comic books. And that's how we did Love and Rockets, because we like doing comics. My other brothers and my 2 brothers and my sister, they weren't that interested in doing comics, even though they could do them and they could draw, but they weren't that interested in it. Actually, Jaime and I and Mario don't work that close together, except I drew a comic book that Mario wrote last year called Citizen Rex, but mostly we don't work that close together. We usually work our separate stories.
Oh, okay. And about Love and Rockets, which do you think that are the main differences between your first masterpiece, Love and Rockets, and your latest works?
Well, my first work in Love and Rockets, it begins really with Palomar, the Palomar stories, and those are probably most personal to me. They're the ones I believed in the most, and it was new, so I could just do any kind of new story that I wanted to. I want to do a Palomar story, I think of a new one each issue. Now, almost 30 years later, it's difficult for me to do new stories with the old characters, so I try to do new stories just to make things more interesting for me and my reader.
So which have been the main changes that your career brought to you and your success, your 30-year career?
The most changes it's made? I'm more comfortable with doing comic books now. It's nice to have been around for this many years, because I like people like, Claudio invite me to this convention, that I've never been to because of my work. And that's very nice. That's very nice to know. They're treating me really well. And to meet the fans from across the world here, to meet my Italian fans, it's wonderful. They're just very gracious, very friendly, and very they like my work a lot and tell me so. So that makes me very happy.
You've also been called one of the greatest American storytellers. What do you think about it? Are you okay with this?
I'm glad somebody thinks so. I am glad that there are people who believe that what I'm doing is really good work, and that it stands out above or amongst other art, comic book art. I myself, I don't know. To me, it's work. It's like I have to be good. I have to be good. It's never good enough. So, the praise and the awards and the acknowledgement that people like what you just said is very nice, and it's very encouraging.
So then you told you like Italy. You like Italian people. And what about Italian artists or comics? Do you have a favorite one?
There are several favorites. I like Breccia and Magnus and Micheluzzi, and there's a few guys out there. And I can't remember all the names right now, but I like the Italian artists because they're a lot like what interests me. They're very the art's very sexy, and they're very very alive. There's a lot happening in the Italian comics, more so than the French and other countries. It's very it's like the Italian cinema, very abbondanza.
And which advices would you give to an artist, to a beginner?
Well, there's two kinds of comics you can do. You can do ones that are self-expression, like I've done in Love and Rockets, but you won't make a lot of money. You can do jobs for a big company. In America, you'd go to Marvel or DC, and that's where you'll make money, but you'll have to sell the artwork to them. I mean, if you do a Spider-Man comic, shall we say, it belongs to Marvel. You'll make good money, but Spider-Man doesn't belong to you. If you do an independent comic that you believe in and it's your title, yes, you own the story and it means more to you, but you don't make that much money. So you can do either way. I prefer. I would stress personal expression, because that's the only way to make you happy.
I see. Thank you so much for your interview.
Thank you. Thank you very much.